It's funny.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port, and once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friend?
Doing well, dude. You know, nice Thursday out there. Got some good sleep last night. Beautiful day, as we can see. A little warm for my taste, but, you know.
Yeah, I always say light breeze, partial sun, 70.
Yeah.
Could you really get any better than that?
You really can. And we're clocking it at 79 today with a high of 84. There's going to be some sweating, okay?
Yeah.
Certainly some sweating. And there doesn't seem to be any breeze out there, dude.
I mean, hey, it's still, to me, you know, it still feels pretty cool compared to Naples right now.
Oh.
Do you think like literally, even if it was like the deal of a lifetime or whatever, like there's just no way you could like live in like Phoenix in the summer? 120.
Well, I mean, define deal of a lifetime.
Let's say we were the Diamondbacks announcing team.
That'd be pretty dope. I would live there.
Yeah.
I heard Phoenix is dope.
No, Phoenix is sick.
Yeah.
So you haven't been to Arizona at all?
Never.
Dude, pretty sick, honestly. It's crazy though. That stadium's only 20 years old and they already want to replace it.
Jesus.
I noticed that. Like, think about the Braves. Turner Field was only 20 years as well. Giant Stadium wasn't around that long.
How is the facilities there? Is it like
I mean, I don't know what the specific reasoning is, but for just it's something like but I never understand the fact that everyone's always like, oh, well, it doesn't make sense to rent. Like, how could you not renovate anything at this point?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, 20 years ago, when you think about it, I mean, how current do you think that is in terms of like having a stadium that's like broadcast ready or something like that? Or
yeah, but I just feel like no matter what, like the renovations that you have to do, you can't tell me that it's going to be less money to demolish the whole stadium and then build a brand new one.
Probably not, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I don't have the numbers in front of me here, Barnes. So.
And you know what was interesting? We're already talking baseball. Let's just officially get into it, though. The world of Major League Baseball.
2-2. He got him swinging. A back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei. Way. Sayonara. Where did that land?
Stuck to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
Michael C. Theophil, the studs are back in town.
You know, I mean, hard to disagree with that. And Tony, are those my glasses?
These are my sunglasses, Brian.
No, are these actually yours or these Manny's?
These are Manny's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're a donation at this point, or
yeah, he wears them for screen time, so he doesn't keep forgetting them. He left them here, and at this point, I mean, hey. Let's go. Fair game.
Here we are.
Actually, I can't wear it. It's too dark. I can't see the screen here.
And
shame.
I was gonna mention before we went to break for a sec.
Went to break.
Well, technically, it's somewhat of a break for us, right? A 30-second video. We're not on when the video's going on. But anyway, did you hear though that I think Manfred said yesterday he wants to go to 32 teams?
Yeah, I was here. He was
atrocious idea, by
dude.
The way.
Yeah, and he was saying how like. Did he say something about like how the sport is bad, or the sport is not good anymore, or something like that?
I didn't see. I just saw a quick snippet, but I'm actually
so did I, and I saw like just one headline quote. It's like this sport has been like a disgrace the past whatever. I think something like that. I could be wrong.
I just saw Rob on ESPN.com. Rob Manfred wants you to know he doesn't hate baseball. He wants to save it. Well, if he wants to save it, how about resign? How about that?
Really, 32 teams, dude.
Because the problem is it's already too watered down as it is.
Yeah. Less teams.
Just looking at this. Well, So he just says, it is the most ridiculous thing among some fairly ridiculous things that get said about me. The assertion that I hate the game, that one does rub me the wrong way. I have to tell you the truth. But it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't actually hate the game, but he's just a total chief about everything. And I just don't understand though, like he wants to add more teams. What market are we trying to hit here?
Well, I'm sure the market is definitely Las Vegas.
Right.
And then I'm guessing the other market would be Montreal.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Another
But
Canadian
then it's
team.
And I guess technically, I know you'd have to move around some minor league teams, but I would think actually Raleigh, North Carolina, right a stone's throw from Cary, where Chokri and my sister reside, would be a perfect place too, because that area is really developing.
They got a great fan base too for the Hurricanes.
Yeah. I mean, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I'm sure if Mike was watching, I don't know if he's still watching. I think this is his cue to be like, Stanford.
But I guess, like, I don't know. The one thing that would be tough with Stanford that I do have to admit, and it's different for hockey and stuff, but just strictly for baseball, it would be tough to live in a town. The team is right there, but like I'm sure they would be in either the Mets or the Yankees division. So I would like have to hate them, even though I live in the city. But it's like, what else am I going to do?
Right. That's true. You wouldn't convert over.
It looks like you're searching for something over there.
I know. I'm looking like, dude, it's tough because there's like all they're all in different spots now because the new thing. I don't even know if I have it, dude. It's fine, dude.
But yeah, and then I'm just trying to think. We always talk about Oakland obviously moving.
Right.
We talk about Tampa moving, but I'm trying to think is like any other market that you could see potentially
moving.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Arizona.
Even? Yeah.
Seattle. What's Seattle?
No,
huge.
No. Yeah, not that even the attendance numbers aren't even that good, but just especially the way the whole feeling about how they got rid of the Sonics. They're not going down without a fight about that
tight,
one.
Yeah.
I have to say I like the stadium. It's just the thing with Seattle. Like if you want to go there for a game, it's just such a pain in the ass to fly there. I mean, it's over 6 hours from JFK.
Yeah, it's tough. I'd still go.
Oh yeah. No.
What do you think the Angels? How about them, dude?
See, I could see the Angels, but they're not going to move anywhere far.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not out of California, you don't think?
No. Even though, I mean, there are a lot of, that is interesting.
There's so many California teams. Like,
yeah. I mean, especially because they tried that whole Los Angeles branding, at this point, that was probably 15, 20 years ago. But yeah, I mean, that's not a bad thought, but it's like, there's no really better spot in California. Obviously, Oakland sucks. You don't want to go to Sacramento. And then it just seems like, though, San Francisco and Los Angeles obviously have a strangleholds on their respective teams.
Yeah.
But just
Anaheim.
Yeah. Well, no, but aren't they actually in Anaheim?
I think so, but they're not called Anaheim. I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough. And it's like the same thing with how the Jets and the Giants refuse to change the name.
Dude, did you hear that? Like this guy is suing the Jets and the Giants.
But does this go back a little while ago?
A couple months, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
But he's suing them. I think it was for like $6 or like $9 million for like false advertising themselves as New York teams because they play in New Jersey.
This is the world we live in, Tony.
I hope he wins, honestly. Because it is so
know.
stupid. And they do in the Meadowlands, like MetLife sucks, dude.
Yeah.
Going there sucks. It's brutal. Like, why would they not like build a stadium like right above the city or something in like Pearl River or Tappan, New York, or up there, dude? Why wouldn't like there's so much land up there too, and you're in New York? It's weird.
No, and if you think about it, going back to when that stadium was built, the original proposal was the Upper East Side for the stadium.
Jesus.
Do you feel like it's important at all? And obviously this is more so for the Jets than the Giants because they have, a stranglehold, over in terms of like, fandom in the area. But for them to separate and have two separate stadiums, or do you feel that that doesn't necessarily matter?
I don't think that necessarily matters. I kind of like that they both play there, to be honest. At the same stadium.
I feel like, though, I've actually noticed, like, historically, like, obviously the Giants have always had more support, but I think actually, if you look at the last couple of seasons, the Jets, like, it's not by much, but actually have more attendance. I don't know how.
Really?
But Giants fans are probably just tight. That's
Giants
why.
fans are tight. Jets fans, I feel like are always hopeful every year. Like they're always so hopeful going into the season, which is why I feel like they would have more attendance. And I feel like the Jets also. I mean, obviously Giants are a historical franchise, so are the Jets, dude.
Yeah. Who do you think is closer
In terms of
being somewhat competitive?
probably the Jets.
Just because Jones is like obviously done, and the
dude.
Jets had
And
a
it's
really
like,
good offseason.
Yeah, exactly. They have a lot to look forward to, way more than the Giants do, I think.
Like I'm trying to what do the Giants actually have to look forward to?
Saquon.
I'm like blanking for a second who they took in the first round this year. Do you even remember?
I think they definitely took some tackle. I thought offensive O-line guy, right?
Giants 20,
or maybe they didn't take a receiver. Maybe someone in the secondary.
Okay. So they got Thibodeau, the edge rusher, and then they did get at 7 Evan Neal, the big tackle from Alabama. So those are some solid picks.
But I mean, like,
yeah,
like it's not like, oh my god, we got this huge offensive weapon. We're gonna be like their offense is still gonna be a huge issue. I'm sure, dude.
And why do you think though? Like, is it a John Mara problem? Why they haven't cut bait with Jones like 2 years ago?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, they had so much stock in him immediately. The Eli Manning camp and whatever, and then like, oh, we'll give him another year. He needs some more, development. For some reason, there's such a hard on for him right away. And then I feel like maybe they're just like a little arrogant in terms of admitting that this was a mistake and moving on and just still doubling that. Was this his 4th year?
Yeah. Stop, right? Hey, is this actually maybe his 5th year?
I think maybe he was a year as like a backup who was like in and out a little bit, right?
Well, because Eli's last year. So let's see. So New York Giants 2019. So 19, 20, 21. 19, 20. Oh, okay, right. This is his 4th year. So they must have declined the 5th year option. But and I know, like, it's funny because this is like beating to your drum. But like, for instance, like just as security and just also just for the sake of competition, like why wouldn't they, like, if the Browns release him, why wouldn't they just pick up Baker?
I know.
But I guess they do have Tyrod though. I forgot about that.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do. But still,
come on. He's shown us the last 5 years. He just, for whatever reason, I know obviously the time that he got his lung punctured by the team doctor in San Diego, that wasn't his fault. But every other time he hasn't really stepped up to the plate,
right?
You know.
But I mean, and I don't know. You think they're gonna get rid of Baker?
Well, yeah, I know because it looks like Watson.
He's getting, dude.
Yeah, and people are talking a year and a half. I mean, I kind of think it's going to be a year. But even though it's just the only thing is though,
is he not? He's going to court now, right? Isn't one of those four of those?
Yeah,
like didn't get settled outside of court, so he's going to go to court. Is it not going to be like criminal court, not like civil court?
Yeah, there's no criminal court.
There's no criminal. So it's all civil suits,
right? So that's the thing they could say. But then,
so he's not going to go to jail. He's just going to get fined a lot. Or
no. And then the thing is, the reason why I can't see it being more than this season is like he already missed last season.
I know.
And I know that wasn't officially a suspension, but that was like a behind the door. Yeah, we'll pay you, but like shut the fuck up, basically.
Right.
Like,
I mean, he really shouldn't just even be in the league, dude.
No. And of course, the Browns are the one that gave him all this money and stuff. Any organization,
dude. I mean, that's a tough call because obviously, he is talented. Browns in a tough spot with Baker.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get out, and unfortunately, I feel like it's biting them in the ass a little bit now, and now they're stuck with Baker.
Right, but I think they're just going to release him because no one wants to trade for him, or they have to eat salary, this and that. One last football thing, though, before we actually talk about baseball. I'm just curious because you've always been kind of a Baker apologist. Like, what do you honestly forecast? Like, let's say he is given the opportunity somewhere. I don't know where. I mean, do you really think he can? Like, I guess I think he had the Browns in the. It was either in the divisional round or
I think it was divisional.
Okay. The divisional round. Like, can he get to a championship game, a Super Bowl in the right situation? Like, what are you forecasting for the rest of his career?
I mean, what am I forecast? I mean, I would like to see if he does, have a nice change of scenery to a good team that's competitive and that has, good weapons around him, I suppose, and that is a good organization, like top to bottom, is clearly what he needs because. I mean, evidently he's not really that happy.
So
in
basically,
Cleveland.
he needs the Steelers, right? I mean, that's when you think culture. The Ravens, but obviously the Ravens, you wouldn't have the chance to play.
Yeah, no way.
Steelers,
Steelers would be dope. I think he could. I think also the Steelers fan base would rally around him as well. I think he would
love
be
to stick
very well accepted. And yeah, I feel like he would have a chip on his shoulder, come in, focus, swing the ball. None of this nonsense, hopefully with egos and locker room bullshit and stuff. So I feel like, again, yeah, Pittsburgh sounds good. If you went to Pittsburgh.
But not the New York Giants.
I mean, how good is he? I don't know. How good are they going to be?
Yeah. No, that's true. It's just going to be interesting. There's some talk about Seattle, which wouldn't necessarily be a terrible place. I mean, they got the weapons there, obviously, and they're planning on starting Drew Lock of all.
I feel like
players.
Pete Carroll,
Yeah. But
set him straight a little bit.
I feel like, though, I mean, is he kind of out to lunch at this point? Like, I feel like he's like almost
like last season, he phoned it in maybe a little bit.
Yeah, he's just lost it. He blew it so bad. How do you the talent that team had the past 7-8 years
against the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
But not even just that, but
yeah,
since then, I mean, with Lockett, Metcalf, and Russell Wilson, there's no excuse to have a mediocre record and not win playoff games the last 5 years.
Well, their defense was ass too, I feel.
But it's like he makes those decisions. He's part of the decision making. I don't know.
Well, maybe if Baker goes there to reinvigorate his love for the game.
Yeah, you never know. But anyway, we got a lot of time. Till
we got a lot of time.
So the preseason starts, but on to the only really of the four major active sports going on right now.
That's pretty crazy.
Your New York Yankees, we mentioned it yesterday, that 105 start against Oakland to wrap up that series with them. And just like kind of how, I had forecasted here, they do take care of business, getting the sweep. And this one was another example of them, falling behind, but always with that uncanny ability to battle back. They give up 3 runs in the first inning, but then answer back with 2 runs of their own in the bottom of the first. Aaron Judge,
29th
home run. And so that made it 3-2. But then they also got a 3-run homer in the third inning by Stanton. And I know I had said Rizzo too, but if you watch back yesterday, I did say Stanton and Judge
and Rizzo.
Homer, but I did say Rizzo. But it's so funny too. I think it's now 6. Stanton's last 6 hits are all home runs.
It's good contact, dude.
Yeah. So that gives him 19 home runs. So he's one away from having, 3 guys before the break with 20 would be insane. Which obviously they're going to get, of course. So, that was really their offense yesterday, 6 hits, but the 5 runs, Tyone, after giving up 3, goes 4 scoreless innings, a little bit of trouble, but works out of it. And then, you got 2 scoreless innings out of Lucas Licky. That was big. A lot of games coming up here. And then Miguel Castro, a scoreless 8th, and Clay Holmes, once again, getting the job done for his 14th save and 15 chances, bringing that ERA down to 0.49 on the season as the Yankees go to 56 up and 20 down. So just another example of just taking care of business, and this is important because they got a 10-game road, stretch starting today with that 1 makeup game in Houston. So you look at it after yesterday's games, 13 games ahead of Boston, 13 and a half in front of Toronto, 15 ahead of Tampa. So obviously in great positioning there. But of course, there's still, I think it's an 8-game lead over Houston. But you still, you want to see them, beat them today. And, a 1-game series type of thing, kind of weird. A Thursday game, I think it's a 6:00 start, if I'm not mistaken. So kind of a weird start time. And we're going to get a pitching matchup of Luis Severino versus Luis Garcia. So the battle of the Luises. I actually have not heard that much about Luis Garcia, but I'm just looking at the numbers here. Pretty solid. 5-5, 3.68, 1.07 whip, and 74 strikeouts in 71 innings. Are you familiar with him at all, Tony?
Not really.
But it seems like it's like the Indians, like they keep churning out pitching.
Yeah.
Or the Guardians.
The Guardians. Yeah, easy, dude.
So, I think that'll be an interesting game, and, we'll take a closer look at it in a second. And obviously, we are talking about Houston. The Mets did have a matchup with them yesterday. Give me something on the 2-0 loss in Citi Field yesterday.
So really tough loss here, specifically for me. Gaetano sandwich on the line, dude.
Could have had chips too.
Could have had chips
and
a drink.
And a drink of your choice.
I know. I was super excited. But I mean, we talked about it yesterday. Justin Verlander did exactly what Justin Verlander did. 7 or 8 innings, giving up 2 hits.
Yeah.
1 walk, I think 6 Ks, obviously no earned runs. He just pitched phenomenally. He used his curveball a lot. His curveball looks really good because I feel like, like a Cy Young year, it was, and maybe a couple of years following. I mean, it was all about his slider, I feel, and he's been hitting his curveball a lot more, it seems like, this year, fooling some batters. The low and away too. Like he had people chasing his off-speed pitches, and then he hit him with fastballs. Fastballs seemed pretty good. It seemed like the Mets were a little slow on his fastball.
Well, what is it clocking in at? Did you see? I think it's 97, 98, right?
Yeah, 97, 96.
39 years old, turning 40 in February.
Unbelievable. First pitcher MLB to 10 wins this season.
What do you think? Like, because I know obviously the easy thing, of course, the whole sign stealing thing, but obviously that's in the past.
No, yeah,
but he looked finished in Detroit. I mean, I know maybe like it wasn't a winning environment anymore, but what is it, a mechanic thing? Like, I don't understand how he's been able to do this. And actually, he's pitched better in his mid to late 30s than he did his mid to late 20s.
I know, it's crazy. Do you think it has something to do with Tommy John? Because we see people come back from Tommy John and they like.
Yeah, no, it helps their velocity.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, this transformation started pre-Tommy John.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, obviously that's going to help now. But I don't know, if it's just, a matter of the coaching there in Houston or just the sense of competition.
I mean, I'm sure the people love Dusty. How do you not?
But, and I remember, obviously, because when they got him, it was like when they used to have the old trade deadline, like that waiver trade deadline. So you had so he came over only 5 starts in 2017, but he had a 1.06 ERA in those 5 starts. So obviously dominating, in that sense.
Yeah. And what it is too, I mean, it's not even just that he's, mechanically sound, that he's got good velocity. He's just so smart, with his pitch selection even. I mean, he threw 3 changeups yesterday, one of which was to Jeff McNeil, full count, runners at the corners. I think it was Nimmo on third, Alonso on first. Obviously being threatened, for the Mets to score a couple of runs here. McNeil being a good hitter, full count, throws that change up, low and away. McNeil chases, end of the inning, just like that. So he's also, like I said, he's incredibly smart with his pitch selection, and to on a full count too, to confidently throwing it out of the strike zone, thinking McNeil's going to chase it, and he does. I mean, that's smart baseball. That is a veteran pitcher who knows exactly what he's doing right there. And that, obviously it's tough if you're the Mets, But I guess on the good side of the Mets, I mean, you had Taijuan Walker go 7 1/3, season high in terms of getting that depth. I think 4 hits. I think he had 6 or 7 Ks, no walks. Very good outing for him. Unfortunately, and I kind of question this. I mean, Diaz came in the 8th as a setup for the 9th. Drew Smith for the 9th. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
That doesn't make sense.
I understand, because it's funny. I think I want to say the Michael K show was talking about this too with why am I blanking on his name? With Clay Holmes and Chapman, like you should put Chapman or use Clay Holmes in the 8th if it's more of a high leverage situation because you're not sure what's going to happen in the 9th. Right. So maybe Buck was thinking, this 8th inning, there's a runner on, more high leverage. We put Diaz in there. Maybe Drew Smith isn't facing, I think he faced the backup catcher, that guy Castro for the Astros. He's probably thinking, the better batters are up in the 8th. Let's put Diaz in there. But I mean, Drew Smith ended up blowing it anyway, over a home run from Castro. So it's like
guys pitching out of position. I understand that strategy, but you're better off keeping guys in the roles because I just think of it. And this was a long time ago. I think, maybe 6 years ago or so, but I remember Tyler Clippard. I think it was actually the Dellin Betances year that he was injured after all those All-Stars. So they moved him from the 7th to the 8th inning. Complete meltdowns. Could not handle it whatsoever.
And like Diaz obviously doesn't have much of an issue,
right?
Because he's done the 8th inning before. He's done 7th and 8th innings before. But I mean, to put Drew Smith in the 9th, I don't know. I think that was a mistake, and it clearly showed. We talked about it before the show too. The bullpen a little bit overworked. Just because of some of the outings you were getting from some of our starters recently. Of course, I'm sure Buck was thinking, oh, dude, this is great. Walker went 7 and a third. Like, we can save some bullpen. And it is very unfortunate that, one, Drew Smith blew it, and then 2, we just couldn't not hit Verlander at all.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude, because that could have been a very winnable game for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right there, but one of those things, and despite the loss, I mean, you still look at it and, they are still 22 games over 5 or 18 games over 500, but still, I mean, that's a good spot to be in. And, 3-game lead now though, after the Braves won last night. So, I mean, it definitely is getting a slightly uncomfortable, but I mean, this is an important stretch right now. It's go time, and it's time to just take care of business. Just as far as the Mets are concerned. And I'm just taking a look at what we have on the schedule today. Mets are off. Seems like they've had a lot of off days recently.
Yeah, because they keep especially with the last 2 series against the Astros, 2 games. It was like 2 games off.
Oh, yeah.
And they had Miami, I think, right? Then 2 games with the Astros off. And then I think they're back home against the Rangers, I believe.
And I know it's something to do with like just scheduling availability, but
yeah,
I'll never understand these interleague series. They'll play 6 games against a team, and then there'll be a 4-game set at one place, and then a 2-game set at the other team.
I know. It's so annoying.
But
whatever, dude.
Yeah. So we'll have to talk to the scheduling department on that one.
Yeah, call them up.
But that being said, Tony, lighter schedule today. Let's go 3 apiece. What do you got for me? And also just for the fans, I know we talked about this before the show, but you
just
are
for the fans
20 and 18, and I am 25 and 13 at the moment.
All right, I'll take it for now, dude. When's our deadline, by the way?
I believe it is the 9th.
The 9th, July 9th.
Yeah.
Okay. Got enough time, dude. Let's see what we got here. Oh, dude. Okay. I think this is going to be a good one here. I know I went with Toronto last night because of Manoah. It's all right, dude. It's fine. Actually, I'm not even sure Manoah's line, but nonetheless, we have Kikuchi on the mound for Toronto tonight. And I'm not taking Kikuchi.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. He's pushing actually a little over a 5 ERA, but regardless, I feel like, Brian tried to take the chance a couple times this season with hitting Kikuchi, the backfire. And there's no way this is backfiring on me. I say Kikuchi maybe 4 1/3, giving up 4 earned runs. And I would say just give me the Rays here. I'll take it 5-1.
I like it. Only because of Kikuchi. Otherwise, I would like the Blue Jays in this scenario, just the way they've been playing. But Jeffrey Springs on the other side for Tampa has pitched well with a 2.25 ERA.
By the way, I know, Manoah did get the loss last night, but 7 innings.
Did he actually get the loss? I think it was a no decision because didn't it go extra innings? I know he went 7 innings and
it did go extra. It did. Yeah. Okay, it did go extra.
But unbelievable.
But still 7 runs, 7 innings, 2 earned runs.
Gotta like it.
Gotta love it, dude. Future Met.
And speaking of good young pitchers and a guy I mentioned before, gotta go with my guy Logan Gilbert here at home. The Mariners hosting the A's, and we saw obviously what the Yankees just did to the A's. And listen. Like, the Mariners aren't going to win the World Series this year. But, boy, Logan Gilbert, I mean, would really be surprised with the stellar second half if he ended up winning the Cy Young. I mean, the way he's looked. And I know, Adrian Martinez, he's a guy, 25 years old, made 1 start so far this year, shutting out the Tigers in a 4-1 win. But, there's just these guys that making their first couple starts of their career. You never know what direction it's going to go. So we'll see, how he fares, but I just feel like Seattle, I think Gilbert has the ability here to go 7, let's give him 9 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. And let's say Seattle wins this one, 5-2, picking up their 37th victory of the season.
All right, dude. I'm not. I gotta ask. I mean, the Yankees.
I wanted to see if you were gonna do it.
Oh
No, actually, I kind of just like that was one of those where I just kind of overlooked it by accident.
no! Wow.
But no, if you want, go ahead.
No, actually,
No.
I think it's a tough matchup here. Honestly,
It is a tough
Astros are
matchup.
hot
It is a
right
tough
now,
matchup.
so the Yankees. It's a tough one, dude. But nonetheless, I don't think I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna go with another tough matchup. Obviously, Battle of California here. Padres are at the Dodgers tonight. Joe Musgrove on the mound though, and you gotta appreciate Joe Musgrove. 2.12 ERA, 8-1 on the season against a Mitch White, who I want to say is a bullpen guy, right?
Yeah, he was. I think they just moved him in.
They just moved him in. He has one start. His last start, let's see, it was against Atlanta. He went 4 innings, 3 earned runs. Obviously Atlanta has good hitters. So does San Diego, Hosmer, Machado. Machado's been actually doing pretty well right now. Leads the team with 12 home runs. We know Machado, and I feel like we talked about the Dodgers and a little bit of their lack of offense that they kind of had in the past month or so. Almost getting swept by the Rockies. A little shaky, I feel. So give me Musgrove here. I say he has a no-hitter going into the 7th, but then gives up a hit. Last 7 1/3 innings. 1 hit, no earned runs. Give me 8 Ks for him. And the Padres take this one 2-0.
All right. I'm going to go with the team that, after a terrible start, has kind of picked it up a little bit. The Guardians hosting the Twins here. Shane Bieber on the hill versus Chris Archer.
Oh.
3.14 ERA this year. But I just think best days are behind him. And while, the Twins obviously have played well, leading the division, I just feel like Bieber has what it takes to win a game here at home. I could see, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 1 earned run. I could see Jose Ramirez having 2 home runs. Close game, but they get it done. Let's say the Guardians here 6-4.
All right, dude. How many games are you doing? 3?
3. Yep.
3 pieces. The last one.
Yeah.
All right, dude. I'm gonna take the Phillies. Believe it or not. I know we've been knocking Aaron Nola, but I mean, look at his last few outings, right? His last outing, San Diego, it was a loss 1-0, but he went 7 innings, 1 earned run, 10 Ks. Before that, Washington, 8 innings, 4 hits, 8 Ks, no earned runs. Before that, Miami, 7 innings, 2 earned runs. Milwaukee went 8, no earned runs. So, I mean, he's been on quite the hot streak, I feel like, I don't know. Quite the turnaround, bringing down his ERA. His last week, his ERA was like a 1-something, dude. Like, it's crazy, actually, how good he's been pitching. Bringing his ERA down just below 3 now. So I think he's going to have some lights out stuff here against the Braves. And of course, as a Mets fan, I need the Braves to lose. So give me Aaron Nola. I'll say he goes 7 innings, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, maybe a walk, 2 hits. And the Phillies take this one 3-1.
All right. I mean, Nola has pitched well, so hard to argue there. And of course, for once, usually I start with them, but we'll save the best for the last.
Oh, he's taking them now.
Your New York Yankees, and I don't care.
Orange is nervous tonight.
I am not nervous whatsoever.
Unbelievable.
I actually don't remember that one.
That was Michael.
But I'm saying,
oh, really? He came in. He literally came in the studio, said it, and was like, "I'm doing it for the soundbite," and he left.
It was just crazy.
But anyway, listen, some chatter, small chatter. Oh, the Houston, that's gonna be their number 1 nemesis, whatever. Did you see Alvarez yesterday with the collision with Pena?
Yeah.
And I guess they're testing him for concussion. I don't know. I would think he's not going to play today, but because I heard, originally, he had got taken off in a cart. So I was thinking like, oh geez, like, did he break his leg? Like, this sounds like a long-term injury. But I have not seen any updates today. Did you actually see the play or no?
No.
It did look pretty bad, but I guess if it's only a concussion, you think that would be relatively short-term. But I don't know, man. Like, it's like, I get it. Like, they are playing well. And, you could say, oh, well, if the Yankees didn't do this, the Yankees didn't do that. in that series. They could have got swept. They could have got at least 3 out of 4. But the fact is they didn't do that, and they did win, 2 out of 4, obviously, splitting the series with them. And I just think you think of 17, you think of 19. Of course, the Astros had their number, but I just feel like other than Justin Verlander, I just don't think there is anything that's coming in the way of the Yankees, overtaking him this year, because I think Altuve's not as good. I think Bregman's not as good. And while we have seen, Valdez pitch well and Javier, and of course, Garcia's record isn't bad, I don't think their bullpen is as good. And I just don't think the lineup is good. I mean, don't you think despite, retooling a little bit here, it's not the 17 or the 19 Astros or even the 2021 Astros?
No, yeah, not at all.
And I think they missed Correa a little bit. I think he gave him an edge. What do you think's up with Bregman? I know he is injured a little bit, but the numbers, I mean, it's been a few years now. I know like I said, he's had injuries, but do you think he's going to turn it around? Or
yeah, I think so. I mean, he hit pretty well against the Mets.
Unless you think it's at all, related to the cans?
In terms of why he's not doing well?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's related to the cans in the sense where it's like he was never a good hitter.
Yeah.
But maybe related to the cans where he's just, a little diminished mentally about it,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely could see that. So just thought that was interesting. But as far as tonight, with the prediction, I mean, I think Louis will give you, 6 innings, maybe 3 earned, but he's going to go 9 strikeouts, 5 hits, 3 walks. And I'm going to say in a close one, and we might even see a 3rd Aaron Judge walk-off home run.
Yeah.
Yankees 7, Houston 6, 9-game lead over the Astros after the conclusion of this one.
Okay, Brian.
You're questioning it.
I'm questioning it a little bit, dude. I think it's going to be a tough matchup for them tonight. I think, although, like we did say, Bregman, I mean, like I say, just hit well against the Mets.
Alvarez possibly out, though. That's a big loss.
Very big. But we'll see, dude. I don't know if he'll be out.
I mean, dude, after that collision.
Did you watch it?
Yeah. Insane. I was like, it was funny. I felt 2 different ways about it, because at first I was like, oh, this is great. Like, this is going to really, take them down a notch. Like, I was thinking, maybe he's out for the year. But then I also have them on one of my fantasy teams. So I was like, I don't know if I really want a torn ACL.
Right.
But I don't know. Just looking at that lineup, I mean, right? Don't you think Altuve? I mean, he's not. He
has not been batting well at all, I feel, recently. So,
but so that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I fear Alvarez, and then everyone else, I feel like he's just an average player. Gurriel's not the same guy on those teams.
He hit well against the Mets,
but overall, he hasn't.
Yeah, overall, he hasn't been. But I feel like the only downside to that is I feel like any one of those batters could get hot.
Yeah, could and
should. Maybe they won't, though. But we'll see, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting.
They should have let Verlander rest an extra day, and she should have faced the Yankees.
Let the Mets deal with him, right? But hey, it's gonna be interesting. And I'm excited too for this
much of a game.
The game itself. Speaking of games, like the All-Star game, it doesn't really do it for me. But the Derby, I've always enjoyed. I don't know about you.
So much fun.
And I really just can't wait to hear who's going to be in the field. I mean, I know every year, usually, it's not like, okay, you could think of the top 6 power hitters or whatever, and like they're in it. But I mean, Alonso did win it last year, right?
Oh yeah.
You think has he announced, like, will he?
He hasn't announced yet. I would imagine he would, though. Why not?
Yeah.
Want it back to back.
And I'm just trying to think, because we know obviously Judge isn't going to be in it. It's just going to be interesting to see who's going to be in the field. And it's funny too, because obviously Dodger Stadium, you think of it as a pitcher's park, but I feel like even when they had the Derby at like Comerica, the ball still flies out because it's a Derby. So I don't think that has too much of an effect. Anyway, someone could put it out of Chavez Ravine, or no way?
I don't think so, dude.
Well, I mean, is it
how deep is it?
I don't know. I mean, I would think left. I'm just thinking about left and right field. I mean, those are got to be at least 360. And then you think about the stand. So is it like almost 600 feet?
It must be, right?
You see those like ridiculous things where they talk about oh, there was this home run like back in the day, like Mickey Mantle hit 600 feet. Have you seen that stuff? Like, there's all these websites out there that talk about like the longest balls, and at Tiger Stadium it hit off the top ravine, but it would have traveled an additional 200 feet or something.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. You think so?
No. What do you think, honestly, though? Let's say Colorado, nothing in the way of the ball as it's going. Physically possible. What do you think the longest home? Can someone hit it 600 feet in the air?
I would think like mid 500s. 600 is like 525, maybe
metal bat,
540. Oh, metal bat.
Metal bat, somebody would get killed.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So that'll be interesting. But really, I mean that's all I have, Tony. Anything else on the tip of your tongue right now?
Tip of my tongue. Not really, I guess. Let's go Mets, huh?
But let's go Yankees, of course.
Yeah.
But my one question.
Oh, what do you got, dude?
Before we wrap it up, I'm just kind of curious. So, like I mentioned, 3-game lead over Atlanta now. When we're back here next week, what's the lead going to be? Got Rangers series and then the Reds of Monday. Braves are hot.
I would say we gain 2 games on them.
Gain 2 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
5-game lead.
I just, I want to say, I think you should be up for an Oscar, Tony, because I just feel like deep down, as we've seen this lead streak, I mean, you have to be there has to be past memories have to come up a little bit.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. It really bothers me more so when like everyone over at ESPN was like, "Oh wow, the race in the NL East is over already, huh?"
Yeah, I swear to God, I thought it was over though.
How could you be so naive, Brian? Like, get out of town, dude. Like what happened last year with the Braves?
Yeah,
they were game under 500 come the trade deadline.
Right, and the thing
Come
was,
on,
Acuna, needed some time after.
Unbelievable to say that it was over like the 3rd month of the season.
But really, if the Braves didn't turn it around, it would have been over though.
Oh yeah,
the Nationals
are done. Phillies,
Marlins,
yeah, kaput. But I feel good about our series against the Rangers. So let's do it. Reds might be, Reds. Come on, dude.
Yeah,
the Reds.
Yeah, that's.
I wonder. I don't know who the Braves. Obviously, Phillies tonight, but
yeah, I'm actually kind of curious myself. What do we got here?
Atlanta. Where the hell is their schedule? It's not giving me anything past tonight. Well, they're definitely going to somewhere else after the Phillies. Oh. Okay, so they have Phillies. Oh, they have Reds this weekend. I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
That's tough. And then they go to the Cardinals on Monday.
I don't know. We might be at a push possibly too. The Rangers, you never know when
Rangers, Cardinals.
The bats are going to heat up. Never know, Tony.
Next week we'll have a 5 game.
But anyway, once again, really appreciate everybody tuning in and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as checking out those archives on our YouTube page. Tony in Costume. Shorten that one up a little bit.
Yeah, I lost a laugh on that one. It's nice and short.
Tony in Costume. Something about a summer collection, Downtime TV, as well as .com summer collection. So everybody enjoy this marvelous weather, enjoy the games, and we'll see you when we see you.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.